use depending on what the witness answers.
All right, well, show her the video.
Entirely, Judge? Okay.
Okay, yeah, send me the Instagram stuff too.
All right, and the witness can step down. You all can just show it from the computer. You can watch her
Yeah, hit me.
from the computer.
Just the computer? Okay.
You may step down. And court attorney, you can step down.
Yeah, but I don't know how to get the sound on here. I don't know how to get the sound on. You know what other laptop?
Do you have headphones or something for her? What's that? Do you have headphones or something for her? Well, I think what we're going to do is just use a laptop. Judge, sorry, let's just sit down. Would you like us to transfer that to a laptop where she listens to it there, or do you want to broadcast it on the...
No, just so you have a listening
Just
from
over
the
there, yeah, not broadcast.
Yes, and defense, you can sit over there and watch it.
Jason.
We do have headphones.
I can go grab.
We have, looks like we do have some.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Sure.
Do you want to use headphones, or would you prefer just everything off the laptop?
I prefer to listen
We
to
would request that she listen to the video on headphones so that the rest of the courtroom is not apprised of the contents of the video.
All right, that's fine.
So,
You have headphones, or either if y'all want, if y'all want to
Does she
listen.
need to watch it in here, or can she watch it?
Yes, y'all can go in the back, and counsel, if you want to go to the back with the attorneys and
to the back?
listen to her watch it.
To
Yes.
the back room?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm a county judge in Orlando. Yes, I'm actually a county judge in Orlando.
Oh, okay. You know what? Go through here and I'll meet you over there.
Okay. I have my ID to prove it.
Oh, no, okay. Don't worry. I believe you.
You don't have to. I mean, why not? It's just that I can... I'm just telling you something. I don't know what I'm saying. No, it's correct. If y'all go back, if she, it's just okay.
Yeah. Hold on, y'all. I got y'all, okay.
Is there an extra chair for the attorney?
Some in that back room.
If you want to just put this like I have mine, not only for the court reporter, and just make sure you're speaking to this mic.
Counsel, you okay with the rolling chair?
Of course. I can grab one from the witness room.
Oh, here's one here.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you, Yola. Oh, we have one. Thank you. just give me a moment. So just so everyone is aware, yes.
Sorry.
When there are cases where, I'm assuming, what is your name?
Joanna Reyes.
All right. So I usually let the jurors know that the person sitting next to them is their attorney. All right? All right, and both parties are ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, let's bring the jurors in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone please be seated. All right, state, call your next witness.
The state calls Joanna Reyes.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, and spell your last name, please.
Joanna Reyes, Reyes.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Joanna, will you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Joanna Reyes. I am a hairstylist and I also work at a warehouse.
And how old are you currently?
27,
And what city do you currently live in?
San Antonio, Texas.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, is there any way we could raise the microphone's volume on the witness?
Just a moment. Can you make sure that you keep your voice up so members of the jury can hear, so that everyone can hear? And if you'll speak into the long microphone that's there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what city do you currently live in?
San Antonio, Texas.
And about how long have you lived in San Antonio, Texas?
Since 2005.
Were you born, where were you born?
Libertyville, Illinois.
Okay. And about how old were you when you moved down to San Antonio?
10.
What side of town did you grow up on?
Marbach area, 410.
And did you attend high school here in San Antonio?
Yes, ma'am.
What high school is that?
John Paul Stevens High School.
Okay. And did you graduate from that high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you graduate from that high school or did you obtain your degree somewhere else?
I did homeschooling.
Okay. And is that how you were able to obtain your high school diploma?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why you're here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is that?
For the case to get justice for Mark Anthony Sapadar.
How have you taken responsibility for your actions on the day?
Let me hear the question and then I'll ruin your objection.
Have you taken responsibility for your actions on the day that Mark Sapadar died?
The objection will be overruled.
You can answer the question.
Yes, ma'am.
And how did you do that?
I pled guilty to tampering with evidence.
Okay. So you entered a plea agreement with the state of Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now regarding that plea agreement, originally you were charged with capital murder, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you worked out a deal where you ultimately pled to the offense of tampering with evidence, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And for tampering with evidence, the range of punishment is 2 to 10 years in the prison or community supervision.
You know, I'm going to object to leading all the
Sustain.
questions. And I ask the jury to disregard the question and the answer, and the court would entertain it. All the questions and answers between my first objection and now.
No, I will not entertain objections that I've already ruled on. Ladies and gentlemen, the last question and the last answer you are to disregard. Does everyone understand? All right, state, you may continue.
Thank you. So I'm showing you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit number 117. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And does this document contain your name? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And does this document also contain your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And on this document, is it a fair copy or a true copy of your plea agreement that you entered?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can use this to refresh your memory if you need to. Just don't read from it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, given that it's a certified copy of a judicial document, the defense would move to admit that exhibit.
Well, if you want to admit that exhibit, you need to do it during your cross-examination of the witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Well, Judge, since they're not going to object at this time, the state offers State's Exhibit number 117.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 117 is admitted without objection.
All right. I'm going to take it back and may I have permission to publish one?
Go ahead. And I'm sorry, I don't know if the screen is working or not.
Oh, good. All right. So, Ms. Reyes, I think where we left off was what was the range of punishment for the offense of tampering with evidence. Are you able to see the document up there on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know what the range of punishment is for that offense?
Yes, 2 to 10 years, possible fine up to $10,000 if the offense occurred on or after September 1st.
Okay. And do you know what, well, I guess, and as part of your agreement, what was the punishment that was agreed upon that you were to be sentenced to?
Tampering with evidence, intent to impair.
Okay. And just regarding line 3, do you know what the state's recommendation for your punishment would be?
Yes, ma'am. 10 years deferred adjudication on the offense of tampering with evidence.
Okay. And then regarding line 4, what did the state ultimately do with the pending capital murder charge?
The state will dismiss the pending capital murder charge against your client at the time of.
Okay. And did you have other cases pending at the time that were dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this plea agreement was made to you in exchange for what?
Truthful testimony.
And so have you been on
Trey T,
bond?
she ain't telling yet.
Let me
Not
step
yet,
back
not
a
yet.
bit.
This
Do you
the
know
beginning,
what
they
date
getting
you
the next
entered
date.
this plea agreement with the
I guess
state?
they trying to see whether she's credible or not.
December 18th, 2018.
Okay. And have you been on bond in your case since that date?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what the conditions of your bond are?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
No contact with any of the defendants or the family of Marquette Salvador.
Now I want to talk to you about the month of April of 2017. Do you recall who you were hanging out with during that month?
Yes, ma'am. Tamor, Jalen, Isaac, Jeremiah, Desiree.
Okay. Tamor, what is his last name?
McIntyre,
And what is Jalen's last name?
Bell,
Do you know Isaac's last name?
Ibarra,
And do you know Jeremiah's last name?
Rodriguez.
Okay. Now, specifically regarding Tamor McIntyre and Jalen Bell, do you recall where you met them?
At a gathering at Isaac's house?
Okay. Had you met him before that date?
No.
You had never met him before that date?
You said Jeremiah?
No, sorry. Let me clarify.
I'm sorry.
So regarding Tamor McIntyre, you previously stated you met him at a gathering at Isaac's, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, had you met Tamor McIntyre before that day?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about how far ahead?
I'm not too sure on the timeline, but I believe it was a year or a year and a half prior.
Okay. And how old were you in 2017?
18.
Did you know how old Tamor McIntyre was at that time?
No, he just said that he was 18.
Okay. Were you in a relationship with Tamor McIntyre?
So he says.
And how would he refer to you as?
His girlfriend.
And during this time period, were you all staying together for living purposes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where would you guys sleep?
Multiple people's houses.
Okay. Can you name some of the people's houses that you would stay at?
But it was Isaac. We stayed at Jeremiah's. He had a friend in Colleen named.
Relevance.
Well, Judge, it's laying the predicate for testimony to come, but I'll move on.
Can we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do you recall where you started the day off?
Yes, ma'am. So probably 20, 23.
Okay. Now I want to talk to you about Mark Saldivar. Did you know him?
No, I just knew him on Instagram.
Okay. Based on your knowledge of him on Instagram, do you know what his hobby was or what he liked to do?
Photography?
Okay. At some point in April 2017, did you come into contact with Mark Saldivar?
Yes.
Do you recall how you did that?
Through Messenger?
Okay. Is that on Instagram?
Yes, ma'am.
For what purpose did you come into communication with him?
Tamor wanted to make an album cover for his new song.
Okay. And so, specifically, why did you reach out to Mark Saldivar?
For that photo shoot.
Okay. And you said new song. What was Tamor's name that he would bring these songs under?
TAY-K 47 or TAY-K.
Okay. And regarding Jalen Bell, did he have any nicknames that he would go by?
Pimpies or Pimp.
Okay. Now, why was Mark Saldivar picked as the person to do the photo shoot?
Because he was offering to do it at low cost or no cost at all.
Okay. And were you supposed to be part of this photo shoot?
Yes.
Do you know what the plans regarding you were for the photo shoot? What were you supposed to be doing?
I was supposed to be in lingerie and with props of guns and marijuana and with a mask also.
Okay. And making the plans for the photo shoot, who was communicating with Mark?
It was me and Tamor.
Okay, and when Tamor was communicating with him, whose phone was he using?
Mine.
Okay. So at some point, did Mark Saldivar agree to be the photographer for this photo shoot?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And so on April 23rd of 2017, do you recall where you started the day off?
At Jeremiah's.
Is that Jeremiah Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What kind of car did you have at that time?
A black Kia Forte.
Okay. Who was that car registered to at the time?
My father.
Okay. But who was the one that was driving it?
I was driving.
All right. Do you recall how your hair was on that day?
I was wearing a blonde wig,
And what did you have planned to do that day?
just a photo shoot.
And who were you with for the photo shoot?
TAY-K and Jalen and Jeremiah.
All right. Did you guys go anywhere altogether?
Yes,
Where?
to Mark's house.
And what vehicle did you all use to go to Mark's house?
My vehicle.
Okay. And who was the driver? Or when you guys got into your vehicle at Jeremiah's house, who was in the driver's seat?
I was.
And who was in the front passenger seat?
Tamor.
Who was sitting in the back directly behind you?
Jeremiah.
And who was sitting in the back directly behind Tamor?
Jalen.
Do you recall what color shirt Tamor was wearing?
White.
And just, can you explain Tamor McIntyre's appearance? As far as his skin color, how would you describe him? Do you know what his race is?
Yes.
What is that?
African American.
Would you describe him as a light or dark-skinned African American?
Dark skin.
Okay. And regarding his height, is he tall or short?
At the time, he was my height.
Okay. And regarding his build, was he skinny or chunky?
Skinny.
Now, regarding Jalen's appearance, or do you know Jalen's race?
No.
Regarding his skin color, how would you describe his skin color?
Light complected.
Okay. And regarding his height, is he tall or short?
Tall.
And was he skinny or chunky?
Chunky.
And regarding Jeremiah, do you know what his race is?
Hispanic.
Okay. And was he short or tall?
Tall.
And skinny or chunky?
Skinny.
Okay. And did he have short or longer hair?
Longer.
Now, you stated previously that you all went to go pick Mark Saldivar up. Do you recall where you all picked him up at?
His house.
Did you pick him up directly in front of his house or down the street from his house?
Possibly diagonal.
Okay, so not directly in front of his house?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know if Mark Saldivar had anything with him?
Y'all rocking with the channel, man. Get the likes up, get the likes up, get the likes up.
You can answer the question.
He had a bag with him.
Okay. Do you know what was in the bag?
No.
Okay. Did he have anything else with him?
His camera.
Okay.
Objection rating.
Do you know what kind of camera it was?
It was a white Canon.
Now, once Mark Saldivar entered your motor vehicle, who was sitting in the driver's seat at that time?
I was.
Who was sitting in the front passenger seat at that time?
Tamor.
Who was sitting directly behind you at that time?
Jeremiah.
And who was sitting in the middle of the back seat?
Jalen.
And who was sitting directly behind Tamor?
Mark.
Mark was sitting directly behind Tamor?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And so after you picked up Mark Saldivar, where did you guys go?
He asked us if we could reschedule for the day and if we can give him a ride to North Star. So I agreed and I said, okay, that's fine.
Okay. And so you were still going to give him a ride to North Star Mall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so on the way to North Star Mall, what happened?
We hit the light at McCullough and Tamor took out his gun and pointed it at Mark and asked for his bag. Mark refused to give him the bag, so they all started hitting him, and Tamor was hitting him with the gun, and the whole time I didn't look back, but when I did, I saw his face, and I started telling them to let him go, And I just kept screaming, let him go.
Objection, hearsay.
And Jalen opened the door and started pushing him out. And he was fighting to get back in the car.
Nah, that is crazy, Julio.
Waiting on him in the
They
car.
offered 10 years
So
deferred
he went
probation
around
on
the
the
car and
capital murder,
he jumped on the
tampering
hood.
with evidence charge in exchange for
And
testifying against her
the light
co-defendant.
turned green.
That is crazy, man. I think TAY-K innocent, bro. I ain't gonna lie to
Stop you
y'all.
right there, okay? So, when you all were at the light on McCullough, you said Tamor produced his gun, correct?
Yes,
And who did Tamor have the gun pointed at?
Mark.
And what was Tamor saying when he had the gun pointed at Mark?
To give him his bag.
And so, once the light turned green, what happened?
He pointed the gun at me and told me to start driving. So I started driving. I didn't know where to go. So I turned into the first place that I saw, which was the Chick-fil-A. Once I turned into the Chick-fil-A, he kept yelling at me to get him off the car. I didn't know how to, so I was just going back and forth really quickly. And then Mark kicked the windshield and TAY-K opened the door and shot him.
Okay.
He just,
All right. So when you were in the Chick-fil-A parking lot and Mark was on the hood of the vehicle, who was sitting in the front passenger seat of the vehicle at that time?
Tamor.
What did you observe Tamor McIntyre do from the front passenger seat?
He shot him.
How did Tamor, did he exit the vehicle or did he roll the window down? How did he shoot?
Yeah, he opened the door and leaned out on one leg.
Okay. Now, do you see the person that shot Mark Anthony Saldivar in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Would you please point to him and identify him by the article of clothing he's wearing?
He's wearing a white shirt.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant, Tamor McIntyre. Now, I need to back up a little bit, and I apologize. When you all were at, where did Mark's backpack end up?
And Jalen had it.
Well, I'm gonna back up a little bit back to the stoplight on McCullough, okay? Did Tamor ever gain Mark's backpack at any point?
Yes.
Okay, and when was that?
And when they were fighting him,
Okay. And regarding, where was the backpack once you all were in the Chick-fil-A? Do you know where it was or you didn't see it at that time?
I didn't see it.
Okay. Now, when you all were at that stoplight at McCullough and 410, prior to that, did you have any knowledge of Tamor's intentions to take Mark's belongings at gunpoint?
No, ma'am.
Okay, but then what did you observe occur?
He was robbing him.
And that's at the stoplight?
Yes.
Okay. When you all, well, I'm gonna publish State's Exhibit. State's Exhibit number Now, is that a fair and accurate representation of the events as they occurred on the offense date?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibits numbers 119 and State's Exhibits number 120. Have you seen these before?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recognize the items that are contained within State's Exhibits 119 and 120?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they fair and accurate depiction of the items as they were on the offense date?
Yes, ma'am.
Tendering to defense for inspection and offering State 118 and 20.
Objection 403 and renewing our previous objection 702 and 3914 to the state's presentation of what is it, 64 video.
Oh, we're gonna see. This one's exhibit. Did I have parties approach?
Who did you observe with Mark Saldivar's wallet?
Jalen.
Okay, do you know if there was anything inside of the wallet?
He had got upset because there was only $10.
When you say he got upset, who are you referring to? He?
Jalen.
Can you please describe to the jury the demeanor of Tamar McIntyre and Jalen Bell at the Mexican restaurant once you all got off the vehicle?
They were kind of going back and forth, and then Jalen applauded him and gave him a high five, and they high-fived each other, and Jalen said he caught your first body.
Can you describe to the jury how you were feeling when you all were at the Mexican restaurant?
In shock.
Did you ever see what was inside Mark Saldivar's backpack?
No.
Did the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, ever make a statement to you about what was contained within the backpack?
Yes.
What was that?
He said there was a roll of condoms, a bottle of lube, and a whole nother outfit.
Did the defendant ever make any statements about Mark Saldivar's cell phone? Or did anyone make a statement about Mark Saldivar's cell phone?
Jalen,
Do you know what he did with the cell phone?
he said he tossed it.
Objection, hearsay, confrontation.
Judge, it's a heard opponent, a statement by a co-conspirator and furtherance.
Mr. Bell is not a party opponent.
The objection will be sustained.
Move to instruct the jury to disregard the question and whatever part of the answer got out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you'll disregard that last question and last answer.
And motion for mistrial.
Denied.
All right, Ms. Reyes, now I'm going to show you some photographs.
Day 5 of the trial, man. Do y'all think
Starting
TAY-K
with
walk away
State's
from this?
Number
Do y'all
88.
think TAY-K finna get the life
Do you recognize what that is?
sentence?
Yes.
Y'all think he gonna get the death penalty? Let me know, man. Let me know in the comments what y'all think.
Starting, or continuing with State's Exhibit number 89, is there anything significant contained within this exhibit?
The picture of me and Tamar.
All right, so this item that I'm pointing at, what is that?
A picture of Tamar and me.
Free TAY-K, man. Unfortunate situation.
And showing State's Exhibit number 93. Do you recognize what that is?
My toothbrush.
State's Exhibit number 94. This item that I'm pointing at, who did that belong to?
Tamar.
And this item that I'm pointing at, who did that belong to?
Tamar.
State's Exhibit number 95, the item that I'm pointing to, who did that belong to?
Tamar.
State's Exhibit number 99, do you know this item that I'm pointing at, do you know who it belonged to?
It was either Jalen's or Tamar's.
And regarding State's Exhibit number 102, the item that I'm pointing at, do you recall who that belonged to?
Either Jalen or Tamar.
Okay. And regarding State's Exhibit number 115, do you know who that belonged to?
Tamar.
Now, after you all, well, I'm going to publish State's Exhibit number 63. So on State's Exhibit number 63, can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who that is?
Jeremiah.
And on State's Exhibit number 63, as displayed where my mouse is toggling, do you know who that is?
Tamar.
And where my mouse is toggling on State's Exhibit number 63, do you recognize who that is?
Jalen.
And on State's Exhibit number 63, where my mouse is toggling, do you recognize who that is?
It's me.
Ms. Reyes, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibits number 121 through 127, inclusive. Have you seen these before?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize the items that are contained within the State's Exhibits?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the items as they were left?
Yes, ma'am.
Tendering to defense for inspection. Offered in States 121 through 127.
May we approach briefly?
Yes.
It was like a red orange.
127.
Tamars.
May we approach briefly?
Yes.
Is there anything significant contained within this exhibit?
The picture of me and Tamar.
All right, so this item that I'm pointing at, what is that?
A picture of Tamar and me.
And showing State's Exhibit number 93. Do you recognize what that is?
My toothbrush.
State's Exhibit number 94. This item that I'm pointing at, who did that belong to?
Tamar.
And this item that I'm pointing at, who did that belong to?
Tamar.
State's Exhibit number 95, the item that I'm pointing to, who did that belong to?
Tamar.
State's Exhibit number 99. Do you know this item that I'm pointing at, do you know who it belonged to?
It was either Jalen's or Tamar's.
And regarding State's Exhibit number 102, the item that I'm pointing at, do you recall who that belonged to?
Either Jalen or Tamar.
And regarding State's Exhibit number 115, do you know who that belonged to?
Tamar.
Now, after you all, well, I'm gonna publish, State's Exhibit number 63. So on State's Exhibit number 63, can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who that is?
Jeremiah.
And on State's Exhibit number 63, as displayed where my mouse is toggling, do you know who that is?
Tamar.
And where my mouse is toggling on State's Exhibit number 63, do you recognize who that is?
Jalen.
And on State's Exhibit number 63, where my mouse is toggling, do you recognize who that is?
It's me.
Ms. Reyes, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibits number 121 through 127, inclusive. Have you seen these before?
Hey y'all, man, this is exclusive
Do you
right here, man. Y'all
recognize
get
the
the
items
likes up. Y'all get the
that are
likes up.
contained within the
Y'all get the
State's
likes
Exhibit?
up. We got an exclusive interview on the
And
way.
are they
Y'all
a
get
fair
the
and
likes
accurate
up.
depiction of the items as they were left?
Yes, ma'am.
Tendering to defense for inspection, offering States 121 through 127.
May we approach briefly?
Yes.
contained therein.
One 27 are admitted.
Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Granted.
Did you say and 127 or
No,
through?
121 through 127.
All right. Now, Ms. Reyes, regarding State's Exhibits number 121, you just explained, can you explain to the jury what's depicted in this State's Exhibit?
My trunk of my car.
In State's Exhibit number 122, do you recognize what is contained in the State's Exhibit?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
Taymor's jersey.
In State's Exhibit 123, do you recognize the item contained therein?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this item that I'm pointing at, what is that and who did it belong to?
Taymor's pajama pants.
And regarding the item that I'm pointing to in State's Exhibit 123, do you recognize it?
Taymor and Jalen shared the shirt.
Regarding State's Exhibits number 124, the item that I'm pointing at, do you recognize it and who did it belong to?
Taymor.
State's Exhibit 125, do you recognize that?
It's mine.
State's Exhibit 126, do you recognize that?
Yes, that's mine.
And State's Exhibit number 127.
Taymor's.
Now, after you all are at the Mexican restaurant, did you all go somewhere after that?
Yes.
Where did you all go?
There is a Starbucks right next door. And we went there while Taymor was on my phone and he got a ride.
Okay. And where did you get a ride to, if you recall?
Jeremiah's house.
And when you all left the motor vehicle there at the Mexican restaurant, did you have any intention of returning back to the vehicle?
No, ma'am.
And you said that you all were going to Jeremiah's house, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that Jeremiah Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you all go to Jeremiah Rodriguez's house?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Jalen and Jeremiah stay, or did Jalen and Taymor stay there at Jeremiah's house?
Yes.
Okay. Where did Jalen and Taymor go from Jeremiah's house?
They got a lift.
Just one moment. When an objection is made, don't speak, because I'll need to rule on the objection.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ask your question, and then you can make your objections, and the court will make a ruling.
Do you know if Taymor and Jalen went anywhere after being at Jeremiah's house?
Objection, Pierce.
That'll be overruled.
You may answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And just so the jury's aware, were you there at Jeremiah's house after you all left the Mexican restaurant? Who all was there at Jeremiah's house?
It was me, Jeremiah, his family, his mom, Taymor, and Jalen.
Okay. And so while you all are there at Jeremiah Rodriguez's home, where did Taymor and Jalen go from there?
They said they were getting a lift to Austin.
Objected, hearsay again.
Statement against interest.
Sorry. With regards to hearsay, if that's something someone else said, then the objection will be sustained.
Motion to instruct the jury to disregard the answer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're instructed to disregard the answer.
Motion for mistrial.
Denied.
All right. Did you observe Taymor and Jalen leave Jeremiah Rodriguez's residence?
Yes.
And did they have any of Mark's belongings when they left?
Yes.
Do you recall what belongings of Mark's they still had?
The backpack and the camera.
Did you stay the night at Jeremiah's house, or where did you go after being at Jeremiah's?
No, I begged someone to take me home, which was his dad.
Okay. And did you have somewhere to be that next morning?
Yes.
Where was that?
Court.
did you go to court the next morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so, the day after the offense, you were in a court with bailiffs. Did you speak out then?
No, I was too scared.
And after court, where did you go?
To Dallas.
When you arrived in Dallas, who were you staying with?
Kayla, Taymor's sister.
Do you know her last name?
Beverly.
Do you recall what apartments you were, or what type of location you were staying at with Kayla?
There were apartments.
Okay. And do you recall what they were called?
No, but I remember the address.
Okay, and what is that?
2424 Henderson Drive.
Okay. Is there anything significant about the location that sticks out to you?
In the area across the street, there was a plaza, which I remember there was a Kroger at and a beauty supply. And then next to it on the left side, there was a gas station.
Okay. Did the apartment that you were staying at, did it have a balcony?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there anything significant about the door on the balcony?
Yes, the color of it.
Do you remember what color it was?
It was like a red-orange.
Okay. Now, shortly thereafter, after the offense occurred, did you learn information that a detective with the San Antonio Police Department was trying to get into contact with you?
Yes, ma'am.
She finna testify and I'm gonna bring y'all up.
What
and
did you do when you learned
finna see
this?
what y'all think about this shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit
His
crazy.
sister Kayla told me to lie to the detective and say that the car was stolen.
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Move to instruct the jury to disregard the question and the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are to disregard the question and answer.
And motion for mistrial.
Denied.
Okay. So without repeating what anyone told you, did you speak with the detective over the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell the detective anything about your motor vehicle?
Yes, that it was
Objection,
stolen.
hearsay.
Call the roll.
You reported to the detective that it was stolen,
Yes, ma'am.
but that was not true, was it?
No, it was not.
Okay. Why did you tell the detective that?
Because I was told to do so.
Objection, hearsay.
Untimely.
Now,
Objection overruled, Your Honor.
Yes.
when you first spoke with the detective and told him that the car was stolen, did you make an appointment to speak with him in person?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever show up to that appointment?
No.
Why not?
Because the day before, they made me work at the club at Temptations, and that night, when I fell asleep, they stole everything out of my bag, my money, my ID, my social, everything.
And did you ever talk to the detective again?
Yes.
Did you tell the truth at that time?
No.
Why not?
I was scared
Why were you scared?
because I thought I was gonna get hurt.
Why did you think you were going to get hurt?
Objection calls for hearsay.
All right, you're allowed to, you're not allowed to say what anyone else told you. There are certain exceptions to hearsay. I don't know if this would fall under one.
Why were you scared that you were going to get hurt?
Because anytime I didn't listen to Kayla, she would call Tamar on FaceTime.
I'm sorry. The objection to hearsay will be sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask the jury to disregard the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, you disregard the answer.
Motion for mistrial.
Denied.
Whenever you're stating that you were in fear, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What, did you observe anything that placed you in fear?
Yes, he killed somebody.
And did the defendant ever make any statements to you about your family personally? And
Yes.
And what were those statements?
That he would kill me and my family.
And is that why you were also in fear?
Yes.
Now, do you recall about how long you stayed in Dallas?
I'm not too sure on the time frame.
Okay. At some point, did you leave Dallas, Texas?
Yes.
Where did you go from Dallas, Texas?
Odessa.
And when you were in Odessa, were you away from the defendant and his sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you choose to speak out then?
No.
I withdraw.
Why not?
I was still so scared.
And then ultimately, when you were in Odessa, were you arrested for a warrant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And once you were placed into custody, did you get a message to the detective that had reached out to you previously?
Yes.
And what were your intentions with the detective?
To tell the truth.
You can answer.
To tell the truth.
Okay. So did you wanted to speak with him, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you speak with him once you came back to Bexar County, Texas?
Yes.
And at the time that you spoke with him, did you have a plea agreement in place?
No, I did not.
And did you know that when you were speaking with him, there was a risk that you could be in trouble and charged in the offense?
No.
And you still decided to speak with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And, I mean, the detective did warn you that anything that you say or said at the time could have been used.
Hearsay, leading, injury.
Sustained.
Move to instruct the jury to disregard.
Disregard what?
Motion for mistrial.
What are you instructing the jury to disregard?
Her question.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're instructed to disregard the question.
Now, motion for mistrial, I'm sorry.
Denied.
Did the defendant ever reach out to you to try to get you to say something specific to the detective?
Yes.
And what was that?
They wanted me to say it was in self-defense.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay and relevance. We keep using plural. I don't know who's saying what. So I would object to hearsay and confrontation.
Well, Judge, my question specifically was, did the defendant, so it's a statement against interest.
The answer is plural.
Now, Ms. Reyes, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 128 and State's Exhibit number 129. Regarding State's Exhibit number 128, have you seen this before?
Yes.
And does it contain your name and signature on it?
Yes, ma'am.
And was this shown to you by the detective when you spoke with him in the Bexar County Jail?
Yes.
And regarding State's, and is it a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw back then?
Yes.
And regarding State's Exhibit 129, do you recognize what is contained within the photo?
Yes.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the people depicted in the photo?
Yes.
Tendering to defense for inspection and State's offering 128 and 128.
As to 129, Your Honor, we would just object as to relevance. And number 403. As to 128, Your Honor, I'd like to briefly take the witness on my before I go back.
Let me see the exhibits.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me, Your Honor.
I mean, it's about the exhibits.
Too good, bro. Oh shit. Hold on, y'all. This shit crazy, bro. Like, I can't believe Shorty's on stand telling all this. Like somebody said earlier, she got a 10-year probation sentence to testify against TAY-K. that's pretty much unheard of. I don't know, bro. I feel like they really trying to make bro to be the bad guy. Like I said, I know TAY-K personally, so it's kind of like it's this super close to home. It's super close to home because, bro, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Hell yeah, I'm good. I don't know if he really shot this man, bro. Like from what I know, bro. From what I know. TAY-K is not that type of guy, dude. He's a kid. First of all, let's start there. He was a kid when all this shit happened. Not saying, you know what I'm saying, he couldn't have did it. I just, like, it's hard for me personally to believe that he did do it. You feel me? It's hard for me to personally believe that. But I'm finna drop the link for y'all, bro. If y'all wanna come up and you know, share what y'all think, man. Shit, y'all join up, man. Join up. Link in the chat, man. Link in the chat. While they take a little break, let me make me a mimosa, man. But the link in the chat, man. Y'all join up. Finna bring y'all up, see what y'all think about it.
Now, regarding states 129, do you recognize the people contained within the photo?
Yes, ma'am.
And the person that I'm pointing to, do you know who is that?
Kayla Beverly.
And who is that?
Taylor McIntyre.
And regarding Miss Beverly, is that the person that you previously testified that you were staying in Dallas with?
Yes.
And the state offers State's Exhibit 129.
All right, with regards to State's Exhibit number 129, defense's objections are overruled. State's Exhibit number 129 will be admitted. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a brief break.
I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm saying I don't know if he did it or not.
Remember my previous instructions, you're not allowed to discuss anything that you heard in the courtroom. You're not allowed to do any investigation. You're not allowed to start deliberating with yourself or with each other. Does everyone understand? All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.
For that into evidence to show.
If there's no
If the San Antonio Police Department and the signature line of the witness identifying him on the specified date are removed.
No, that's not being removed. The only thing that would be removed would be the portion that says it's the San Antonio Police Department.
I see. Then yes, I would maintain my objection that it's a single photograph. The witness was not given the opportunity to identify Mr. McIntyre of a lineup of similar individuals, but was instead just shown a picture of the person that the officer had pre-printed and asked to sign and initial it. I think that kind of a lineup procedure is suggestive. It's a pre-indictment or pre-arrest Mr. McIntyre lineup, so there's no objection to the fact that there wasn't counsel present. But I think that the method of employment here has been discouraged as being overly suggestive because it doesn't give the witness any ability to discern.
But if somebody knows someone, do they need a lineup of several people if they've been in their life? For example, just hypothetically, if someone presents a photograph of someone's mother, do they need a lineup of people who look like their mother for them to identify a photograph as their mom?
Well, I would completely agree with Your Honor, which is the third part of the objection, which is that it's overly cumulative. We already have photographs of Mr. McIntyre in evidence, and she has personally identified him in the courtroom without any objection from the defense. So there's no need to have this photograph at all.
All right, the objection is going to be overruled. State's Exhibit number 128 will be admitted with the following redactions. The top portion that states San Antonio, I believe it states San Antonio Police Department, that needs to be removed. The emblem of a badge, that needs to be removed.
Yes,
and I believe that's in the top left corner. Yes.
Judge, if I may, I just was trying to find out exactly how the court would like us to do it. One, to expedite it, you could cut the top portion off, and that would, I mean, of course, I'd have to re-sticker the 128 if there's no opposition to that.
If you can just, if there's no objection, cut that portion off and then just have another sticker labeled and you can put the sticker at the bottom or wherever. So if y'all would do that.
Yeah, Judge, I have two more that I'd like to get in, so since we're outside the presence of the jury.
Let me see. What two?
Mr. Reyes, regarding State's Exhibit 128, can you explain to the jury what this is?
Tamar McIntyre.
And is that appearance of Tamar McIntyre in State's Exhibit 128 how he looked back in 2017 when the offense occurred?
Yes.
Regarding State's Exhibit number 130, can you explain to the jury who that is?
Jalen Bell.
And regarding State's Exhibit 131, who is that?
Jeremiah Rodriguez.
Now, earlier in your testimony, you testified regarding fear that you were experiencing. Can you describe the relationship that you had with Tamar McIntyre to the jury?
It was a
Check relevance and if we could approach the bench.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This shit crazy. This is crazy. They saying this is TAY-K ex-girlfriend, but I'm thinking more of it's just somebody he was dealing with at the time. Because TAY-K live in Dallas, this girl live in San Antonio. How they met, who knows? Who knows, man? Y'all join up though, man. Let me talk to y'all, man. Why I gotta sit here by myself? Listen to this, man. Y'all join up. Let me get what y'all think about this case.
Just give us 10 more minutes. Remember my previous rulings, and deputy will take you back to the jury room and we'll bring you back out shortly. All rise for the jury. Time out.
And
So, this is what the court is going to do.
more in the 27, and it relates to
All right, Joe, you can find a foundation with regards to time.
was there a party the weekend of this incident that you attended with Mr. McIntyre and others?
That weekend, no.
Okay. But you and Mr. McIntyre and Mr. Bell were all hanging out?
We were together, yes.
Was Jeremiah with you?
Yes.
But you weren't staying at Jeremiah's house that night before this incident, were you?
Yes, we were.
Okay, are you sure of that?
Very sure.
Okay. If Jeremiah disagrees with you, Jeremiah is not telling the truth?
Correct.
Okay. And you all took drugs that night before, didn't you?
I didn't, they did.
Okay, well, you say you didn't. Let's be more specific. They took LSD, didn't they?
Yes.
And you didn't take LSD?
No.
You smoked marijuana, though, didn't you?
I was completely sober.
You didn't smoke marijuana or do cocaine?
No, not the day before.
Are you sure?
Yes.
But you had done them in recent time frame?
Previously, yes.
Okay. And so, Mr. McIntyre and Mr. Bell would have taken the LSD sometime in the evening hours of Saturday night before this event on Sunday, right?
Correct.
Okay. And do you have any experience with taking LSD?
Yes.
So you're aware it's a very long-lasting drug, right?
Correct.
So it may not be that they were acutely intoxicated, but there would still be effects 24 hours later.
Objection, speculation.
In your experience, you could still be having effects from it 24 hours after the fact, right?
Yes, but it didn't seem like that.
Okay, I'm not asking you what it seemed like, I'm just asking what your experience with that drug is.
Yes.
So, That night before, there had been a conversation about a photo shoot. Part of that was to promote your career as a dancer, wasn't it?
No.
Okay. You say it was because Mr. McIntyre was wanting an album cover.
Correct.
But you're aware that Mr. McIntyre has a producer and that he has people that do photo shoots for him and that all of those types of things?
Objection,
If you
relevant,
know.
and speculation.
The state has objected to relevance.
Well, it's relevant because I'm just asking her if she's aware. It goes to whether or not she understood the framing of this correctly.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
So, you contacted Mark through Instagram, right?
Correct.
And Mark had contacted you previously on a different Instagram account of yours, right?
Correct.
And had asked if he could take photographs of you, right?
Correct.
And the kinds of photographs Mark
Objection.
wanted to take to you, I'm sorry?
I'll let you finish the question.
The kinds of photographs Mark wanted to take of you were either nudes or risque photographs, wasn't it?
Judge, I'm going to object, and if we could approach, please.
Shorty was taking OnlyFans pictures. What it sound like, y'all? This shit crazy. Like, what the hell going on? I don't know what TAY-K had going on. This lady said she's 27 now. At the time, I know TAY-K was like 16 at this time. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But we finna figure out what really happened to this day at Chick-fil-A, man. This was what the hell? What the helly? What the helly?
Going on during the evening hours of Saturday leading up into Sunday, we're making arrangements to have this photo shoot where you would be in lingerie, correct?
Correct.
All right. And you said, I believe on direct examination, that he had agreed to do this for little or no pay, right?
Correct.
And so you all were thinking about doing the shoot somewhere near the North Star Mall?
Correct.
Okay. And when you arrived, he walked out from his house and he got in the car and he saw that it was you, Jalen, Tamor, and Jeremiah, right?
Correct.
And that wasn't something you had explicitly discussed with him before. It was the fact that there'd be other men there, right?
He knew Tamar was going to be there.
You didn't know anybody else was going to be there, right?
When we said multiple people,
Okay, when did you tell anybody that?
when we text,
Let me
when we
back up.
communicated with him.
Let me back up a moment. You have given statements to the police in conjunction with this case, right?
Correct.
And you have given statements under oath when you entered your plea of guilty to the plea agreement, right?
Correct.
And you didn't tell anybody that you had explained to Mark that there would be a bunch of men present at the photo shoot, did you?
No.
Okay. So Mark gets in the car, and immediately, once y'all are rolling away, the photo shoot's called off, right?
He asked to reschedule for a later time that day.
Okay, that's calling off the photo shoot, isn't it?
It's rescheduling.
Okay, so y'all were still driving away with him, right?
Correct. He asked for a ride to North Star.
And you told the detective that you were confident Mark's intention was to have sex with you that day, right?
No.
You don't remember telling the detective that?
No.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at your statement to the detective?
We can.
Which number are we on to this exhibit?
Number 9, I think.
Number 9. All right, Ms. Reyes, I'm going to give you this transcript. I want you to kind of look it over. And if you have any questions that you would like to refresh your recollection from it, please let me know. And then I'll be asking you some questions from it too. We'll have a copy for opposing counsel.
Judge, I'm going to object to that exhibit. It's not a witness exhibit.
I haven't offered it, and I'm just giving it to her because she said it might refresh your recollection, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
She doesn't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. I don't know who the
I was just giving you a
author
copy.
is.
I'm objecting to lack of foundation. It's not her own
I'm giving
statement.
you a copy of it so you can tell me what it is. What do you mean it's not understanding?
It's on recorded statement. Yeah, that's on the recorded statement. I'm not offering it yet. It's just content. It's just content.
All right. Ms.
All
Reyes,
right,
if I...
so a party's approach. Transcript of her video statement. And when I say that, let me just tell the defense, I am not saying that you are submitting something that is not word for word from her DVD statement, but what I'm just telling you all, that's not an official transcript. If it were an official transcript, then we would be in a different place. So this is what I'm telling everybody. Show her the video. Could somebody please show her the video? Then you all can ask whatever questions you want to ask.
Judge, just for order of operation's sake, I'm withdrawing the exhibit that I marked for identification to refresh the witness's memory. I would like to just proceed under Rule 613. I'd like to ask the witness again in front of the jury about the statement. And if the witness denies making the statement, then I believe I have the right to publish that video to the jury.
All right, show her the video. Let her see the video.
Well, Your Honor,
I have the right to do that to the
if
jury.
we're not trying to refresh your recollection, then what we're entitled to do is ask her again whether she made the statement. If she insists on saying she doesn't, then we don't have to show it to her now. What we do is we show it to her and the jury and ask her, does that change your mind?
That video is hearsay.
Well, that's not for impeachment purposes.
Well, you haven't got to the impeachment point. What I'm saying is...
No, we're withdrawing the request for recollection.
Okay.
So now we're actually, if she wants to insist on that, that's fine. And then it's going to come in under 613. Otherwise, if she says, okay, I changed my mind after hearing all this, then we can move on.
This is what I'm telling you all, and I want everybody to hear me and internalize what I'm saying. Show her video. Somebody put the video on, show it to her.
Well, Your Honor, we don't have to.
If you're in a computer right now to do that.
We don't have to if we're not asking her to refresh her recollection. She said she didn't say it before. We're withdrawing that request. And now what we're saying is, are you certain of that? If she says under oath that she's certain of that, then we're going to show her at that point, before the jury, what her prior statement is. That's the purpose of 613, is so the jury will see it. Not to do it now so that she says, I don't do it, and the jury doesn't get to see the prior statement.
Okay, so everyone, do me a favor. Show her video.
Your Honor, respectfully, we would object to showing the witness the video outside the presence of the jury.
All right, so I understand what you all are saying. I want you all to internalize what I'm saying. Show her video. I don't know how many times to say it. Show her video.
Respectfully, Your Honor, we object to showing her video before the...
All right, objection overruled. Show her video.
We're trying to get it up on the computer.
Could I ask the witness a simple question that might resolve some of this?
Yes.
Ms. Reyes, did you look at any of your prior statements in preparation of your testimony today?
I have not looked at it. I have watched the video.
You've watched the video?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Your Honor, she's already seen the video.
And what video would this be?
I'm sorry, Ms. Reyes. When we talk about the video, we're talking about the statement you made to Detective Juarez when you were brought over on that warrant from Ector County back in September of 2017.
Correct. I don't mind watching the video again.
But you've already seen it.
Yes, but I don't mind watching it again.
Okay. Your Honor, the witness has already testified that she's seen the video. I think that we, at this point, can get to just a simple yes or no, did you say that? And if she denies making the statement, we can publish that portion of the transcript.
Show her the video, please.
The video, I believe, is over an hour in length.
All right, show her the video.
She wants to show.
Again, we would object to this.
All right, your objection is noted. And which portion of the video is this about?
Judge, did you want something in particular, this portion?
Yeah, well, Your Honor,
They're saying the portion with lingerie or something.
I've got 45 clips of different things that I may want to use depending on what the witness answers.
All right, well, show her the video.
Entirety, Judge? Okay.
All right, and the witness can step down. You all can just show it from the computer in defense. You can watch her watch it from the computer.
Just the computer? Okay.
You may step down. And court attorney, you can step down.
Yeah, but I don't know how to get the sound off. I don't know how to get the sound off. You know how to live off.
Do you have headphones or something for her? What's that? Do you have headphones or something for her? Well, I think what we're going to do is just use a laptop.
Is allowed to discuss with her testimony. So please, no one call her and say, let's discuss this, because she's still under oath.
You know that issue earlier this morning or yesterday was granted cert in the Supreme Court. It was Ed Charles's case. And he's got access to the defendant? Yes. In Jefferson Law School? Yes. Yeah, I saw him one night. By the way, I got him.
Just 1 second. We're on the record. We're we're not just, they're just now just
Maybe just stop it at.
chatting about other
Yeah.
things.
Here, let me tell you about this.
Good old age shies.
By the way, I love, whenever the prosecutor, a little bit like you, he was straight, honest, fun to be in court with, fun to be out of the court with. And I actually got him the person who's a Supreme Court bar to write the brief with him. But I'm trying to convince Ed, he's a good appellate lawyer. I want him to argue the case against the commissioner. He really ought to, because I think he'll win that one. I mean, I might be win that one.
All right, y'all. That's the end of the court date for today. TAY-K, I don't know what to say about that shit. It's not really looking too good. If you want to come up and speak on what you're seeing or what you think, it's up about 5 minutes before we get up off of here, off the live, babe. It's an unfortunate situation, bro. Shorty got on stand, basically told everything, or told what she was told to tell. I don't know. Shout out to Sko in the building. Just say no to Sko in the building, man. Shout out to Sko. This is an unfortunate situation, brother. Like, I don't know, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.